TT Meets TT Episode 3, Richard's Rad Red 225. Hi all, Andy here and welcome to Episode 3 of TT Meets TT. This week it's Richard with his highly customised yet very tasty Red 225. Richard got in touch with me after watching Episode 1 of TT Meets TT and asked if I'd like to feature his car in a future episode. If you've not seen the previous episodes, please do click on the link above where you'll find a playlist containing all previous episodes. After a few email exchanges, Richard and I agreed to meet up with the TTs at a golf club in Essex. Being an Essex boy originally, this was my opportunity to take my 225 home because I purchased the car originally from a couple in Southend. In my opinion, Richard's TT is something of a work of art and the pictures and photos got me interested to see more. So let's take a look at Richard's car and hear his story. Well, I'm here today with Richard and his fantastic looking 225 BAM. It's a 2001 edition and as you can see it is a stunning car. So Richard, do you want to tell me about how you acquired the car and what you've done to it?
Good morning, morning everybody. So I bought the car beginning of the summer from a guy in Wales who thankfully for me spent plenty of money on, I guess, the big bits, the bits you can't see, which certainly did me a massive favour in things that I was going to do anyway. So I'm a previous owner, not my first TT, but wanted one as a bit of a hobby. So the principle behind it was getting something to play with, really. So it's a toy car. So if we take a walk around it, do you want to sort of point out the sort of things that you would find on this car that you wouldn't find on a standard car? Because I'd say it is far from a standard car. I think that's fair to say.
Okay.
Starting at the front mounted intercooler. Engine-wise, it's still running the standard charge. But it's a Essex Hybrid Turbo, 3-inch pipeworks downpipe and sport cap into a custom exhaust system. Full gas shock absorbers, coilovers. It's then running full polyurethane bushes throughout the car. Wheels obviously 19s, nice and big, 112, so running adapters on very thin tyres. So it's the most comfortable ride you'll ever have in your life. And then inside, really the only stock thing is the dashboard. So seats out of a Audi S1 Supersport, Billy Cloud's fantastic rear delete, and then obviously the body kit on top of that to make it just a bit more individual.
I've seen quite a few 225s around, but I'd happily say that this one is by far the nicest one I've seen. I'm sure, Richard, you'll probably say there are plenty of nice ones out there, but this is just, well, it blew my mind. When I first saw this car today, it absolutely took my breath away. I came around that corner and Richard was already here and wow, I mean, what can I say?
I think it's a strange car on the grounds that they're absolutely brilliant flat as they come. So a huge number of people rightly like to keep them completely standard, and I totally agree, my last one was. But I think it was, for me, it was just being a little bit different with this one. So when I saw the one with the kit, so even though it was just the kit then, it just stood out to me as well. And the colour's nice and rare.
So when you acquired it, it was already this colour, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it's the standard colour, so it's obviously it's Amulet Red, which is becoming rarer and rarer. But the body kit was already on it, but that was pretty much how it looked.
The roof obviously is in what I'd class as the Quattro Sport look.
Absolutely.
That isn't something you bagged, that was already on the car.
No, that was
well.
there. So
okay.
They've used Phantom Black, which obviously is another Audi colour, to do all of the intricate stuff. So obviously the mirrors, the detail in the body kit and the roof.
If you could have your time all over again with this car, is there anything you would change right now? Because I know you've done quite a bit to it yourself.
And I think it's now just mapping.
Okay.
So in relation to the car, the inside's coming out over the winter because the audio's got to go into it. It's my ex-job. So car audio is a bit of my thing, so I'm good with electrics. But other than that, it's just now a case of mapping it.
It's a 225, it's got an intercooler, so what other models have you actually put into the engine itself to generate more power today?
Yeah, absolutely. So the joy of it is it's still a 5-figure engine, so still under 100,000, so still nice and low in that respect. So where do we start? As you can see, it's clean. So I spent a lot of time cleaning it.
Fantastic.
Principally, all of the coolant hoses has gone to silicone. The bulk of the vacuum is also gone to silicone. Removal of PCV for a Billy catch can, Removal of N249, really because just a clean-up job, really. But then once we get past that, as you'll see, it's got a larger bore charge pipe without baffles. It's running a Essex Hybrid Turbo. Obviously red caps have gone in this week after the car sort of had a bit of a moment. Badger 5 tip, and obviously RamAir as well. But other than that, it's running currently fairly standard. I say other than that, but for me it was just a case of getting the engine apart, getting it clean, making sure everything was done. So it's also had lots and lots of new gaskets. The injectors have been out, flushed, new seals, and as I say, it's just really a bit of a tart job.
Yeah, it's absolutely stunning. So the body kit that's on the car, does that have a name? Is that a style?
It's a GTX.
GTX kit, and that includes the front lip, side skirts.
Yeah, the side skirts, the front and the back. The spoiler is absolutely unknown. Don't know where it came from. It didn't come with the kit. But obviously I still had to leave the original on because it still needs the down push from that spoiler.
Nice advert for Dom there. Okay, so inside, Richard, do you want to open up and show us the goodies you've got inside?
Yeah.
And talk us through that?
So S1 Super Sport seats, far better seats than the originals, and they do look good with the carbon fibre rears. Bits of carbon fibre here and there. Steering wheels from an RS3. Currently awaiting being removed again, because we're going to get the functionality going with the aftermarket stereo, because you can get a CAN bus override. Nice big gear knob, and then rear seat delete.
Yeah, I see you've done that as well. Saving the weight.
So it's at a point now where it's coming apart again, so we can get the stereo done.
Next, Richard and I took the car for a spin and talked about all things TT and how, hopefully, one day the Mark I may rival the hot hatch classics of the 1980s. I'm sure that back in the day you had very similar cars to myself, and if you still owned those hot hatches that we owned once upon a time,
absolutely,
we would be rubbing our hands.
Yeah, you'd have bought every Cosworth Sierra you laid your hands on.
Yeah, I had a 205 GTI and a 1.6 and a Fiesta RS 1800i that I owned. And I think if I had either of those cars now, they'd be worth some money.
Or they'd be rusted to pieces.
Yes,
like
but that's why there's not many of them around, because they've all disappeared through...
But it was like, I think it was like the Mark I Astra GT, I think it was like 5. And you just can't fathom how that, but it is because they were terribly built.
Yeah.
Out of really poor materials, and then thrashed to death by stupid 18-year-olds like me.
Yes.
You know, but I think what's really also very key in owning the TT is you've got to realise its value. It doesn't happen as much as it used to, but people can get very, very unrealistic about the value of their TT, especially if they put stuff into it. You've kind of got to realise that the money you're spending on your TT is gone.
Yes.
You know, even a car like this with so much done. I mean, said I haven't spent a huge amount because I've done the bulk of it myself, but not even in my dreams will this car even come close to making anywhere near the sort of money that'll be spent on it.
No.
Because it just doesn't hold its value. But people seem to believe they do, and you just have to be really realistic. Yeah. You're doing it because you enjoy it.
Exactly
and
right.
You're doing it for yourself.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of cars at the moment that I've noticed on Facebook that people are banding around adverts for, where they're very, very low mileage cars, but they're up for 25 grand. I mean, unless it was the first one out of the showroom with about 1,000 miles on the clock, it's not going to be fetching that sort of money.
Absolutely. You've also now got to realise, because it is starting to become a bit of a classic, is it actually worth money modded anyway, or is it more money when the car is how it came? Quattro Sports obviously being the absolute epicentre of that. And again, there's a guy on at the moment who's selling his. It's a beautiful car, but it's had a few bits done, it's had a map done. And do you know what? Take it all off and put it back to how it was when you bought it.
Totally.
And you'll make more money. And probably the 3.2 is probably in the same bank. where people want them how they came with standard wheels, the standard engine. So it's a appreciating classic.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Richard, for showing me around your car today. It's been a fantastic day looking around all of the modifications and changes you've made. It's an absolute stunning example of the 225. And yeah, thank you very much for bringing it down.
My absolute pleasure. Thanks for coming along.
Thanks
Good
a
to
lot.
meet you.
Take
Nice
care.
to see yours.
Thank you. Stay tuned. Here are some photos that Richard kindly shared of the work he's undertaken, including the old seats before he replaced them with the S ones he currently has. I think it's always great to see these progress pictures, and here are also some great shots from the shoot. I feel the car looks very stylish with its external bodywork mods and interior with those amazing seats, which are extremely comfortable even with the firmer ride from the suspension. Thanks for bringing the car along today, Richard. It was great to meet you and that fantastic TT of yours. I look forward to seeing the car once more next summer when the car is out of winter hibernation, and I'm sure that our paths will cross once more at the various TT meets and shows in 2022. If you too would like to feature your car on TT Meets TT, just like Richard, then please do drop me an email at the address on screen now. If you enjoyed this video, then please do give it a thumbs up, and also think about subscribing to my channel if you've not already done so. Here you will find a great mix of Audi TT maintenance and feature videos. Once again, thanks for watching and see you soon. Take care.